Music Flashcards, Music Flashcards, Music Flashcards. And there's my dog. There's Charlie right there. Can you see him? Okay. Okay. And whoa. This is an A. Whoops. What am I doing? This is an A. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Florentin, and in today's video I'm inviting you to test your own music skills, music theory skills, using the Bastien Music Flashcards. Now if you're a piano player or a piano teacher, you're probably going to be very familiar with the brand Bastien. They publish lots of piano books, piano methods, piano collections, and they published this set of flashcards a while back. I'll place a link for this set of cards at the bottom. I think you can get them for like $4 on Amazon. This would make a great gift for yourself if you want to test or increase your music theory skills. And also if you know somebody that plays the piano or the guitar or whatever musical instrument, this would make a great gift for somebody like that. Or maybe you can just impress your friends and go through these and learn some of the skills in here and test your own friends. Before I go on with a set of cards, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, feel free to do that. Don't forget to click that bell so that you don't miss my uploads. And if you get a chance to hit that like button for the video, I would really appreciate it. Now this is a set of some 70 cards, 73, 74 cards. And what I did, they are split by category. And what I did actually, I mixed up the categories. I changed the order of the categories so that the easier categories go first. I don't want to have my viewers that are not a music student or a music teacher leave right away, right? So I put the easier categories first, and maybe some of you can stick around at least for a while and see if you can do the first few categories, and maybe some of you can stick to the end and stick around to the end and see if you can handle all of it. All right, I'm gonna play some background music while you do this so we can have some nice pleasant atmosphere. By the way, this music is from my piano album titled Piano Hymns for Prayer and Meditation, and you can listen on Spotify for free, and you can also purchase it on Amazon Music, on Apple Music, and things like that. I'm gonna place a link at the bottom if you want to take a look. So I'm gonna show you each card, and there's an answer on the back. I will announce the category each time the category changes, so that you can kind of be prepared for it. And I'll show each card for a few seconds, and then I'll give you the answer, and maybe you can keep track of how many correct answers you got, and maybe you can share that in the comment section below. All right, so the first category that I will go with is Clefs. Clefs for music notation. And I think when you see the cards, you'll know what I mean. And if you don't, that's fine. Just stick around for the next category. And here's the first card. You need to think of a specific name for this symbol. And that would be a treble clef sign. If you play the piano, this is for your right hand notes. If you play the guitar, clarinet, trumpet, flute, your music would be written like this. Okay? And the next one, and this is called the bass clef, sometimes the F clef. And if you play the piano, your left-hand notes would be written in the bass clef. And if you play the tuba or any instrument that plays very low notes, then your music would use the bass clef or the F clef. The next category is meter signatures, okay, or time signatures. Here we go. So this is the 2/4 meter signature with me, which means that inside each measure you get 2 quarter note counts. Okay, here's the next one. This is the 3/4 meter signature, which obviously means that inside each measure you would get 3 quarter note counts. That should be easy. This is the 4/4 meter signature, sometimes referred to as common time. You see a C letter at the beginning of the staff, the beginning of the song, beginning of the staff. And that means that inside each measure we now have 4 quarter note counts. The next category, I have 2 cards in that category. Dynamics. Think of dynamics. So this is the symbol for forte, which means loud. This is the symbol for piano, which in this context means to play soft. So we're not talking about the instrument right here, we're talking about the dynamics. The next category, short category, just 3 cards, we're talking about accidentals. Accidentals. So this is the sharp sign. If you think of the notes on a piano, if you think of any of the white keys, the next black key to the right would be the sharp. So this means a half step higher than the natural note. And this is the symbol for flat. Call this a flat sign. And this goes the other way. It's a half step lower. So on your piano, you think of a white key and the black key to the left is your flat. On a guitar, for example, you think of the fret on your left, and that's going to be your flat note. And this is the natural sign, which would cancel a sharp or a flat that was either written in the key signature or that was notated in towards the beginning of that measure. So if you have an F sharp and now you want to hear an F natural, you would use this symbol to cancel the sharp out. So this is called the natural sign. Okay. The next category is it deals with intervals. An interval is the distance between 2 notes. I have a somewhat lengthy music theory video on intervals. I'll place a link if I get a chance at the bottom or at the top somewhere, and you can take a look at that when you get a chance. This section, about 10 cards, 7 or 8 cards, deals with intervals. So we're looking at a number for an answer, and I did mix them up. So here's the first interval. And this would be a third, basically the distance between the bottom and the top note. You think of your piano, the bottom note is your middle C, and the top note is your E above. And there's my dog. There's Charlie right there. Can you see him? Okay. So that's a third. Next one. We don't call this an eighth, we call this an octave. It is an eighth, but it's called an octave. That's a good music word to know. So it's an octave interval. This is a fourth interval. These are kind of easy to figure out, especially if you know the names of the notes or if you know the notes on the staff. This is a second interval. So move a little bit quicker maybe. This is a sixth interval. This is a seventh interval. This is a fifth interval. And the next category is a little bit harder. If you don't play a musical instrument at all, you might have a difficult time with the next 2 categories, but if you want to stick around anyways, you're welcome to. And for those of you that do play a musical instrument of any kind, you should be at least somewhat familiar with the next set of cards. So the next category is key signatures. So we're talking about key signatures. So we're looking for the name of a key. This would be the easiest one. We're talking about C major. No sharps, no flats. I did place these in order, as in the circle of fifths. If you don't know what that is, that's okay, but I did place them in order, okay? The key of G major, okay? The key of D major, the key of A major, the key of E major. I had lots of fun learning these when I was like 8 or 9, and of course back then we wrote everything by hand. It took me a while, but it was a lot of fun to learn these. The next key, B major. The next key, F sharp major. And the last key in the sharp group there, C sharp major. The next group is the keys with flats in the key signature. And here's the first one. Should be easy if you play an instrument, I hope. This is the key of F major. This is the key of B flat major. This is the key of E flat major. This is the key of A flat major. This is the key of D flat major. This is the key of G flat major. And the last one, this is the key of C flat major. Okay? Now here we can talk about enharmonics. C flat major is the same as B major, right? So those are called enharmonics. We can talk about that in another video. The next and the last category, which is a whole bunch of cards, has a lot of the notes on a piano staff, on a grand staff. So if you play the piano, you should do really well in this category. If you play the guitar, you might do really well with the second half when the notes move into the treble clef. So just stick around and see what you can do. Here we go. I'm curious how many are still watching, how many made it this far. It'll be interesting to find out. So here's the first note. We're looking for a letter name, okay? So that's a B on the piano, that's where you play it. C. D. I'm gonna skip around a little bit because I don't want this to be in order. It'll be too easy, right? So I skipped. This is a G. This is an F. This is an E. I'll skip a few. This should be easy. This is a low C, a C, right? This is your B. Okay, let's move a little bit quicker. Still in the left hand if you play the piano. This is an an E. This is an F. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. This is an whoa. This is an A. Whoops. What am I doing? This is an A. Okay. And this is a D. A few left. This is your, what is it? Looking upside down. It's a G. It's a left hand G. If you play the piano. This is your middle C, right? But in the bass clef. Usually if you play the piano, play that with your left hand thumb if you're in the middle C position, right? This is an A. Ooh, ledger lines. This is a D. Ah. This is an E. We're still in the bass clef, the F clef. This is an F. Right. Now it's going to move into the treble clef, and I'll mix those up in a minute. I'll just start with this note. If you play the guitar, if you play the violin, for example, you'll know these notes really well. And if you play the piano, these are in your right hand usually. So that's a G. A. Let me skip around a little bit because if I go in order, then it's too easy, right? G. B. I don't know if I'm moving too fast or too slow for most of you. D. Here's an easy one. This is our middle C, right? A few left. E. Skip to this one. A. B. F. Charlie just took off. He got tired of listening to me. C. Let's skip around a little bit. Here's the next one. F. That's the high F. Here's the next one. Almost done, almost done. Hang in there. G. How about this one? D. Ooh. This is our high A on the guitar, first string, 5th fret, right? Here's our E. If you play the violin, well, there it is on the piano. If you play the violin, it's your first string. If you play the guitar, it's your first string, right? Open. Couple more. This is your high B. Two more. This is your high D. And this is your high C. So this is, if you made it this far, you're my hero. That's pretty awesome. Again, I would suggest that if you do get this set, you kind of change the order of the categories like I did. If you don't play the piano or if you don't teach the piano, don't start with the note names because that's a lot of things that you may not know in that category. So, but start with maybe the meter signatures, the dynamic signs, the accidentals, the clefs. Those are more general and they apply to all the instruments. More so than, for example, the low notes in the bass clef, right? Because if you play the flute or the oboe, or the recorder or whatever treble instrument, that you'd never have to read those notes at the bottom. And if you play the tuba, then you never really have to play the instruments at the top. So just keep that in mind. Again, this is a set of music flashcards from Bastien. I highly recommend them to help yourself brush up on your music theory skills. I have my TV on, so it's kind of flashing in my face right now. There goes Charlie again. Okay, so hope you made it all the way to the end. What's up, bud? What's going on? Okay. All right. So I hope you made it all the way to the end. Let me know in the comments below how far you made it and how many answers you got right maybe. And again, if you want to get this for yourself or a friend or a piano student or teacher or a musician that you know, this would make a great gift, and it's cheap, $4. I'll also place some links for some Bastien piano books. Those are quite common in a piano studio. Thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a nice day and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.